Hi, my name's Blake. I've had a mixed history. I've worked in management positions in retail, small business, and government industries, and I'm going to tell you a bit about some of the attributes and all the areas that need to be focused on when working in these and being successful. So the area that I'm working in at the moment is the international education sector, but these values that this sector has are really synonymous with all different sectors that I've worked in, and especially across private and public organisations, and particularly small business. So when working in a professional sense, be it public or private sector, there's a certain number of values that are really important, and obviously it's personal values that people bring to a field. So you've got to have honesty, you've got to have respect, and you've got to have the willingness to work hard and do what it takes to achieve a goal. So this often means that you'll go well above what your core requirements are. So you'll work longer, you'll work harder, and those people that don't do that don't get ahead. So it's one of those things, you've got to do it for the organisation, you've got to do it for the business, but you've got to do it for yourself. Ultimately that's what it's about, and you've got to look after yourself and look after the business you're in. If you do that, you'll be successful. So when it comes to professional ethics and behaviour, it's really important that you demonstrate that you're above reproach. So you don't do anything that would be considered ethically unwise. You'd be looking to ensure that you don't accept bribes, or you act in the interests of your business, whoever you're representing. You've got to remove yourself from the picture when doing professional dealings. It's particularly important in the public service, where you're dealing with Commonwealth money on behalf of the government. Whether you agree or disagree with the government's priorities or the decisions being made or the implementations that you've been asked to achieve, you've got to go ahead and achieve those with your full effort and to the best intention you possibly can. This mightn't mean that you're doing things that you personally disagree with, but it's what's required of you, from your employer, and what you've got to do, and being above approach and being selfless enough and being, adult enough to get on with it and achieve those outcomes ultimately mean you can affect the outcome and put your own personal values and stamp on that whilst achieving the business goals. So when dealing with industry, regardless of what industry it is, it's really important that you're conscientious and you're timely and responsive. So no one likes a person or respects a person who says they're going to do something and never does it. So you've got to ensure that you commit to doing something and you actually follow through and do that. It's a really good approach is to not overcommit, or you've probably heard it before, but always set the goal of, under promise, over deliver to ensure that your clients are happy. It's incredibly important. I can't stress that enough, how important it is to make sure that you don't mislead people. You always do as you're going to say, and that you actually tell people when something can't be done. Because nothing is worse than finding out that someone said, oh, they're going to do all these things, or they're going to promise the world, when in fact they can't do any of those things. And it would have been better right away if someone had told you, well, we can't do that and here's why, but here's what we can do instead. So a really open and honest approach will always stand you in good stead and have everyone around you respect you. The attributes you need to develop to be successful are key. It's a hard work ethic. Focusing on your goal and ensuring that you deliver what you've told people you'll deliver, you do it in a respectful manner, and you constantly work hard and people can see that you work hard. It's important that you also, for yourself, balance working hard in your business and your family life and being able to have that mix between personal and professional, because if you don't have one, you can't have the other. So it's really important that you have a good mix of both of those things, and you don't push yourself too much. So if you don't get enough rest, you won't be able to perform in the business, and obviously if you're only performing in the business, you won't have much of a personal life, which will then in turn burn you out. So I think that's probably the biggest attribute that you need to develop in order to be successful.